Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 4 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password. It's provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 4 math and then click all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter multiply fractions. The lessons we're going to cover today are multiply fractions by whole numbers, multiples of fractions, multiply fractions by whole numbers were problem, multiply fractions by whole number were problems. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. And I'm in grade 4 math. The chapter we're on right now is multiply fractions. Let's just start with the first lesson, multiply fractions by whole numbers. 3 times 9 by 10. 3 is a whole number and 9 by 10 is a fraction. So 3 times denominator, that means its denominator is 1. Numerator time numerator denominator 3 times 9 is 27 and 10 times 1 is 10. So let's just divide. 10 times 2 is 20 and 7 is the meter. That is 2 whole 7 over 10. The correct option is 2 whole 7 over 10. Okay, you can. Let's just move on to the next question. Multiply. Simplify your answer and write it as a proper fraction or as a whole or mixed numbers. 2 by 7 times 8. We can go for 8 times 2 is 16 and 7 times 1 is 7. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 16 over 7. 2 by 3 times 10, so which is the correct option? That is 20 over 3, option number 1 is the correct option. 3 by 4 times 5. 50 over 4, it is option number 2 is the correct option. 9 times 1 by 8, so which is the correct option? Very good. 9 by 8, option number 2 is the correct option. 1 by 9 times 5, so which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 5 over 9. That is 9 over 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. Five by 6 times 5, so which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. 5 times 5 is 25. That is 25 over 6. 3 times 9 by 10, so which is the correct option? That is 27 over 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself for today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is multiples of options. Let's just start with the lesson. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Complete the multiplication sentence. 2 by 5 equals the missing number times 1 over 5. So you can see they have the same denominators. Just look at their numerators. 5 it is. 1 time, sorry, 2 it is. 1 times what number is 2? That is 2 times 1 is 2. So the correct option is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 it is. Two times 1 is 3. So the missing number is again 2. Type the missing number. 3 by 5 equals the missing number times 1 by 5. Times 1 is 5. So the missing number is 3. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself. Okay, now that is 3 times 1 is 3. So 3 by 5 it is. The missing number is 3. Sorry. Complete the multiplication sentence. 2 by 4 equals the missing number times 1 by 4. So what number is missing? That is 2 times 1 by 4. So the missing number is 2. 2 times 1 by 4 equals 2 by 4. The missing number is option number 2 is the correct option. 4 by 5 equals the missing number times 1 by 5. So which number is missing? That is 4 by 5. The correct option is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Type the complete the missing sentence. 2 by 3 equals the missing number times 1 by 3. So what number is missing? That is 4 times 1 by 3 is missing number is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, the missing number is 2. Yeah, it should be 2. Complete the multiplication sentence. 3 by 4 equals the missing number times 1 by 4. So what number is missing? That is 3 times 1 by 4. So the correct option is 3. Option number 1 is the incorrect option. That is 2 it is. 2 times 1 by 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Three by five equals missing number times one by five. So what number is missing? That is three times one by five. Okay, you can three by five it is. You can complete the lesson by yourself. Later today it is just one the next lesson. Apply unit fractions by whole numbers with columns. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Austin uses 2 cups of vinegar in his salad during recipe. How much vinegar does Austin use to make one fourth for recipe? So you need to calculate one fourth of the complete recipe, fourth of two you have to calculate because you have 2 cups of vinegar. So 2 times 1 is 4, 2 times 2 is 10, so that is 1/4. Okay, that is 1/2. Option number 2 is the correct option. On Wednesday, the farmers at the Mercer farm picked 3 barrels of tomatoes. Thursday, the farmer picked half as many tomatoes as Wednesday. How many barrels of tomatoes and farmers picked on Thursday? So we have 3 times 1/2. So 3 times 1/2 equals So that is 3 by 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. The elephants at Union Zoo are one third of a barrel of corn each day. The buffalo are fed 3 times as much as the elephants. How many barrels of the corn are the buffalo fed each day? So, which is the correct option you have to do? 1 by 3 times 3, which is the correct option. 3 and 3 cancel out each other, you are left with 1. So that means there are only 1 barrel of corn that buffalo fed each day. So the correct option is option number 2. 1 it is. By 5 it was option number 1 is the correct option. Tesla and Matthew are collecting clothes for a clothing drive. Matthew collected 3 times as many clothes as Tessa did. If Tessa collected 1/4 of a bag of clothes, how many bag of clothes did Matthew collect? So which is the correct option? That is 3 by 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. 3 by 4 it is very good. Janet made strawberry jam and raspberry jam. She made enough strawberry jam to fill half of a jar. If she made 4 times as much raspberries as strawberry jam, how many jars will the raspberry jam fill? Which is the correct option? So it is option number two is the correct option. How four? You have half of a jar, right? And you have to fill four times as much. So 1 by 2 times fill. So numerator time numerator and denominator denominator. Denominator time denominator. So 2 times 2 is 4. So the correct option is number 2. 2 it is correct option. Dennis has 2 cups of powdered sugar. She sprinkles 1/4 of a cup onto a plate of brownies and sprinkles the rest onto the plate of random Fuji. How many sugar does option number two is the correct option? That is option number one is the correct option. That is 1/2. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. Let me just move on to the next lesson. Multiply fractions by whole numbers word problems. Let's just start with the test questions. The cattle at the Jasper farm are fed 5 bales of hay each day. The horse are fed three-fourths as much as hay as the cattle. How many bales of hay are the horses fed each day? So you have to do 5 times 3 by 4. So 5 times 3 is 15 and 4 times 1 is 4. So that is 15/4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Michael operates an orange juice stand. On Monday, he used half of the bag of orange juice. On Tuesday, he used 2 times as many oranges as on Monday. How many bags of oranges did Michael use on Tuesday? So, which is the correct option? So, 1 by 2 times 2 is 1 by 2 times 2. So, 2 and 2 cancel out. You are left with 1. So, the correct option is option number Two is the correct option. One is the option number two is the correct option. So Alex has 3 cups of powdered sugar. He sprinkles half of the sugar onto the plate of brownies and sprinkles the rest onto a plate of lemon cookies. How many sugar does Alex sprinkle on the brownies? That is 3 by 2. Option number one is the correct option. Krista and Reagan made a bowl of punch. Reagan used 4 times as much lemonade as Krista did. If Krista used one third of a cup of lemonade, how many cups of lemonade did Reagan use? So, which is the correct option? So, you have to do 1 by 3 times 4, that is 4 over 3. Option number one is the correct option. Last month, Eva and May sold candy to raise money for their debate team. May sold 3 times as much candy as Eva did. If Eva sold two-thirds of a candy box of candy, how many boxes of candy did May sell? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is two. Option number two is the correct option. That is two. Last week, Dan's fruit stand sold half of a box of lemons. Down the road, Harold's fruit stand sold 3 times as many boxes of lemons as Dan did. How many boxes of lemons did Harold's fruit stand sell? That is 3 by 2. Option number one is the correct option. Paul went to the candy store and bought 2 pounds of candy. If two-fifths of Paul's candy was chocolate, how many pounds of chocolate candy did Cole buy? So, which is the correct option? That is 4 over 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. A factory puts two-fifths of a gallon of vinegar into each batch of salad dressing. How many gallons of vinegar will be used in 4 batches? That is 8 over 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Yesterday, Cal's snack shack went through 2 bottles of ketchup. If they used one-fourth as much mustard as ketchup, how many bottles of mustard did they go through? That is 1 over 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 4 math. The chapter we are working on is multiply fractions. The lessons we have covered today are multiplication fractions by whole numbers, multiplies multiples of fractions, multiply unit fractions by whole numbers word problem, and multiply fractions by whole numbers word problems. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please ask questions if you have any. Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.